Hello, everyone. Wanted to take the day to kind of tell a funny story as I'm over here checking on our 45-foot motorhome here in the trailer. About a year ago, this thing's new to us. It's a 2017 with a 2005 Performax trailer. On our maiden voyage with 3 cars loaded up in this trailer, we ended up losing this trailer right here off the side of the highway. Going through West Virginia. Those of you who don't know the roads of West Virginia, it's a little bit bumpy. And also those of you that don't know, these trailer couplers right here can definitely have their fair share of incidents when you have 30,000 pounds, if not more, of cargo riding on control of this little pin right here, which has some rust and little ball on it. You definitely can have some problems here. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is just the scale of these rigs as you walk up to them, right? So, I mean, I'm all of 5'11" on my best day, but as you can see, it's kind of comical that the average person can just kind of get in and drive one of these things. Our length overall as we're driving down the road is right at 90 feet. We have a 36-foot box on this trailer, 45-foot motorhome. The tongue comes out to about 5 feet. So yeah, we're right at like 89, 88 feet, plus the Gen Y hitch over there. So what kind of happened is as we were running down the road, there's these big whoops in the roads in West Virginia. We were getting to some of those patches, and I was getting a run at some of these hills because everybody knows I've driven big rigs or driven something of this size, even tuned up like this motor is with the Cummins 605 with a little bit of a high horsepower tune in it. There's only so much you can do when you're running at 80,000 pounds, 71,000 pounds to be exact. So getting a run at one of the hills, and we're coming up the hill, and all of a sudden, I hear some air come out of the dash, right? So it's like, oh man, that's kind of weird. These trailers all have air brakes. I'm like, damn, did we really hit that hard? What happened there? So we're going through, and I'm looking, like, man, that needle on the dash, it's sure fallen. It vent to atmosphere, and I'm still going, trying to, did we blow a suspension bag? What is it? And, as you're pulling something like this, we're 102 inches wide over here, and we're 102 inches wide over here. You have the awnings on this side for sure, but as you look in the mirror, for someone that's never pulled something with an RV or something like that, you have the same width the whole way back, so the trailer kind of tucks into to your footprint. So we're going. As I'm starting to rise up this hill, I do a little wiggle. I'm like, holy crap, we lost the trailer. And I got, a buddy of mine with me. It's our first time going to the track. We've been friends for a while. And I stop, and I'm like, Spencer, I'm not there. Just like, trailer. Throw it away. What do you mean we lost the trailer? So I pull over, look, trailer's not there. So what happened was, that little pin that I was talking about earlier.
This is pretty unbelievable. Oh my God! Look at the skid marks.
These glad hand fittings here. They are now going back. So trailer supply here is just going outside. Luckily, with the trailer being air brakes, we were able to have this thing stop, and it ended up riding up the road to a little bit of a halt there. So, we get there. I see what I'm doing, and as we're turning around, because the trailer's out of sight at this point, I'm thinking to myself, man, there's no way that this thing is right. Our weekend's ruined. All 3 cars are gone. This trailer that we had for a month is gone. It's off to the wayside. It's down a hill. It's never going to be seen again, right? Loop around in one of those illegal U-turn spots where you're not supposed to turn around, which we found out, most recent history that things are definitely not designed for semi-trailers. Spin around in there, come flying back, and all of a sudden I see this thing, stood upright, just up against the guardrail. Like, holy crap, they're okay. So we get there, we loop around, get up to it, and so what had happened was, the trailer had wedged itself up against the guardrail on this side, right? So the door was up against the guardrail. You see we got a little bit of a mark right here from hitting the guardrail, and that's about the extent of our damage. So these jacks over on this trailer, they need a key to be able to run them, right? So you hit the key and then the trailer goes up and down, right? So I thought I was smart. You know, the keys for the jacks are in the trailer. So, you know, when we get there, we need to unhitch this thing, you know, boom, get in the trailer. The door's up against the wall. So I'm freaking out. We're calling AAA. You know, I have a family account with AAA. My dad lives in Florida. I call the main number. Like, oh, you're in West Virginia. I get disconnected 3 or 4 times. I'm on the side of the highway. People are beeping at me, everything like that. You know, we're luckily not blocking up traffic, but we're causing quite a scene, right? So as we're trying to figure this out, I get up in here, you know, behind there, hot wire the switch for the jack. As you can kind of see, I still have it taken apart. Have that touch the 2 wires together, and up and away that we go, which is pretty fun and interesting. So we just hitch this thing up, boom, and away we go to Mid-Ohio. As we're on the way up there, we start to find out that after sliding the trailer for about 300 yards or so, the tires are no longer round, and we found just about every rattle that there is to find in this coach right here. The microwave tray was rattling, all the dishes in the cabinets, you know, the dash was shaking. You get this thing above 65 miles an hour, and you know, you sound like you're out of a cartoon episode, which is pretty entertaining. So we get there, you know, it's all fun and we can all joke about it now, but you know, again, my biggest guidance to everybody watching one of these videos is just make sure that you have your trailer pins in. What had happened to me is this little ball right here, this little detent. You know, this trailer's 20 years old now. It had just kind of walked its way out, and once it walks its way out, this latch falls forward, and you can see it stays forward, and then we hit a big bump, boom, up and away we go. And everyone's probably like, Christian, man, you know, what happened to your safety chains? You can see here, you know, this chain is probably barely rated for a swing set, and this trailer with cars in it weighs roughly about 30,000 pounds. So, well, they just broke. They broke right off, and there was no staving it. Which honestly, I'm kind of glad that it did, because it would have destroyed the back of the motorhome. And you can see, you know, as we get inside here, yeah, this is quite an expansive operation we have. You've got one little ground here. We got one car that goes up above. Then we got one car in the lift and one car below the lift. So it's definitely quite the rig to be going down the road. And you know, just kind of helpful note out there for everybody. Make sure your pins are in. Make sure they're latched. I put a zip tie around that little ring that's in the pin now to make sure everything is good to go. And you know, my guidance is just be careful. Check everything 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Every time you get fuel, you know, these big toter homes don't have a ton of fuel in them relative to some of the big rigs out there. So you're stopping every, you know, 4 or 5 hours or something like that to get fuel in one of these things. Just do a little check. The biggest casualty that, you know, we had from this incident, got super lucky, was some out of round tires. All my sockets and all the drawers were spilled, and we had a little scratch here on the edge. So great learning experience. You know, other folks may not get so lucky. But would love to hear some feedback in the comment section about what you guys think. Have you ever lost a trailer before? Did you have some more unfortunate luck that maybe I might have had? And you know, what have you done to prevent that going forward? Thanks everyone for watching. Welcome to the channel, and hope to see you again soon. Like, share, subscribe. Hopefully we don't have a habit of Wreck-It Ralph activities here on this channel, but it's always good to share and laugh at somebody else's trauma. Thanks again, guys. See you soon.